What's up, my fellow Shield Brothers? It's Shield Brother 6 here for the History Armada, here again on this wonderful Wednesday. Today we are continuing with our holiday traditional history, and today we're going to talk about the history of Krampus, the Christmas devil. So he is a figure quite well known throughout Central Europe, and he's starting to become well known as well in the United States. So, Krampus in Central Europe began as a popular legend, a half-goat, half-demon monster that punishes the misbehaving children at Christmas time. He is the devilish companion to Saint Nicholas, or Santa Claus. Krampus is believed to have originated in Germany, and his name derives from the German word Krampen, which means claw. So, Krampus was thought to have been part of the pagan rituals for the winter solstice, getting his start in the winter solstice and the Yule time. According to legend, he is the son of Hel, or Hela, the Norse goddess of the underworld. With the spread of Christianity, Krampus became associated with Christmas, despite efforts by the Catholic Church to ban him. The creature and St. Nicholas are said to arrive on the evening of December 5th, which they call Krampusnacht, or Krampus night. While St. Nicholas rewards nice children by leaving them presents, Krampus beats those who are naughty with branches and sticks. So instead of getting a lump of coal, you get your rump beat. In some cases, he is said to eat them or take them away to Helheim. On December 6th, St. Nicholas Day, children awaken to find their gifts or nurse their injuries, depending on what kind of kid they were. Festivities involving Krampus include the Krampuslauf, or the Krampus Run, which is actually still held in the festivals that go on in modern day. In this activity, which often involves alcohol, people dressed as the creature parade through streets, scaring spectators and sometimes chasing them. Beginning in the late 20th century, amid efforts to preserve cultural heritage, Krampus runs became increasingly popular in Austria and Germany, as seen here. During this time, Krampus began to become celebrated internationally, and the monster's growing appeal was evidenced by numerous horror films. Some claim that the expanding popularity of Krampus was the reaction to the commercialization of Christmas. So, Krampus and St. Nicholas have their origins both in pagan celebrations of the winter solstice and Yule. Later they became part of the Christmas traditions, like I said, with the Christian traditions of Krampusnacht and St. Nicholas Day. But he has been integral for a long time. He's not as well known in the United States or elsewhere, such as Western Europe, but in Germany and in Austria, he has long held on to his tradition and his place with St. Nick. Oftentimes in very old postcards, you can see him there. And the introduction of mass visual media couldn't help but sweep the charismatic Krampus into its wave, taking it to a broader platform where it could be more learned about. When the postcard industry experienced a boom in Germany and Austria in the 1890s, it opened the way for Krampuskarten. These holiday cards weren't mean, and they weren't meant to make you feel sad, but they weren't exactly made to feel warm and fuzzy either. Ones marked Gruß vom Krampus, greetings from Krampus, showed Krampus stuffing a distressed child into his satchel. Here you can see Krampus talking to a little boy. And in other cards, you can see him preparing to hit children with sticks. Here, stuffing the child into the satchel, and here he has his sticks to beat the bad kids. He often is depicted with birch sticks, as you can see here in the top right, and many of these postcards depicted Krampus going after children with his sticks, leading them away in chains, or stuffing them or carrying them off in his satchel. There were also cards that were a little more, well, we could say adult, and Krampus cards in the early 20th century showed him punishing children and proposing to women, which is kind of an odd duality to have for Krampus and Christmas. But in some cards, Krampus is portrayed as a large woman whipping tiny men with her birch sticks and carrying them off in her satchel. In another, a smiling woman dangles a defeated-looking Krampus in the air, holding his bundle of birch sticks behind her back. And For over a century, most Americans probably never even saw a Krampus card, or even knew who Krampus was unless you were a German or Austrian immigrant. But that changed in 2004 when art director and graphic designer Monte Beauchamp published a book of Krampus cards and helped organize an art show inspired by the cards. This early 2000s effort led to a boom in Krampus, and it led to the spreading of his influence to places such as Western Europe and especially America. Etsy now has a whole section of items inspired by classic Krampus cards. And if you don't have time to send cards, you can buy an ugly Krampus sweater to wear to your local Krampus party or Krampuslof. Krampus's popularity in the US arguably you could say peaked with the 2015 feature film Krampus, which is actually a pretty good film. But although Krampus is relatively new to the US, this Alpine legend is the original Bad Santa, you could say. He was the kind of the foil to Santa Claus. He and Santa were the duality. Whereas in America we have the story, Santa will bring you a present or a lump of coal, depending on if you were a good child or a bad child. For Germany, it was, well, you could either get a present or you could get beaten and kidnapped. So you can see quite a little bit grimmer there. But Krampus, as with most things Christmas, does, like I said, get his start in the pagan celebrations of Yule and winter solstice. So Krampus is quite a unique figure to have with the Christmas time. A celebration supposed to be about the birth of Jesus Christ for the Christian religion. You can see how it was the mingling of the predecessing religion and traditions that stuck around with him and St. Nicholas being added into the Christmas celebrations for Central Europe. So I always thought that Krampus was kind of unique, so here it was a little bit of history about Krampus and, well, Christmas time. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a happy holidays as we get now into Yule and Christmas. So I will hope to see you guys again next year in 2022, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of 2021. So, remember to leave out your cookies, be good, and don't let Krampus get you. As always, I am ShieldBros6, and until next time, ciao for now.